Everyone has unique, God-given gifts and abilities that can be used to contribute something special to the world in their own way. True humility is to have courage, to have confidence, not based on our own egoistic identity of how I'm better or worse than others. It's through confusion, it's through challenges that often inspire us to search deeper.
Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like na 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 na. For my top 10, top 10, na 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 na. This one's for my top 10.
Need motivation?
Watch a Top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and this channel was created to help you overcome the #1 challenge that is holding you back, a lack of belief in yourself. You watch these videos because you know there's something more inside you too. You have Michael Jordan level talent at something. So get ready to focus on what you can do, find balance, and meditate with Radhanath Swami and my take on his top 10 rules of success to give you the confidence, motivation, and belief that you need. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Focus on what you can do.
A few years ago, I was invited by the President of India to attend a function at the presidential mansion in New Delhi. There were a few hundred guests who had been invited for this function. It was the official function for the then President of the United States, President Barack Obama, and the First Lady, Michelle Obama. The security was at the highest level. There were military officers armed with machine guns, sniffing dogs, and security cameras all around. When I arrived at the palace, I saw the Prime Minister of India with his entire cabinet of ministers and all the highest-ranking government officials of all of India's political parties. I thought to myself, what am I, a little Swami, doing here? What is the lesson that I am to learn from my experience here? Then I looked up and I found the answer to my question. Up in the sky there was a bird circling around and around over everyone's heads. A thought came to my mind. How embarrassing it would be if this bird does what birds often do on the heads of these heads of state. I pondered. This bird seems utterly insignificant in the presence of the most powerful people in the world. This bird could not do what a president or prime minister could do. But then a thought crossed my mind that caused my heart to soar higher than that bird. I thought that as much as the little bird cannot do what these great leaders can, the leaders cannot do what the bird can. Not a single one of them can freely fly in the sky. Everyone has unique, God-given gifts and abilities that can be used to contribute something special to the world in their own way. If you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will consider itself worthless for the rest of its life. Focus your heart on what you can do, not what you cannot. That is the secret for growth.
Rule number 2, find balance.
One time, I was going through a lot of trials in my life, because everyone does. Whether you're living for a spiritual purpose or a material purpose or anything else, the nature of the world is there's going to be challenges. There's going to be setbacks. Because just like there's two sides of a coin, in America we call it heads and tails. So similarly, life is like a coin. And wherever there's happiness, the other side is distress. There's health, there's disease, honor, dishonor, pleasure, pain, success, failure, birth, death. It's a world of dualities. And that coin is always going to flip over. And there's not that much we can do about it. However much we know, however much we have, there's a little space between the heads and the tails, the rim.
Yes.
And in that place, we actually find balance. And that's very important, that balance between people. The balance, the harmony between the body, the mind, and the spirit. That's the place where our relationships can be real, can be fulfilling, and can be sustainable.
Rule number 3, be truly humble.
A humble heart can appreciate what others are giving us, can appreciate what others are doing. One of the greatest obstacles in creation is envy. If somebody does something better than us, we become envious, or we become depressed. If I am doing something greater than another, we become arrogant or condescending. These qualities create a miserable state of consciousness. There can be no peace, there can be no true happiness, because it's a total disconnect from the heart, from the soul. Humility is not about being cowardly. It's not an act of self-effacement. True humility is to have courage, to have confidence, not based on our own egoistic identity of how I'm better or worse than others. True humility empowers us with a connection to God's grace. And when we connect to that grace, we understand there's a power beyond my own that could give me the intelligence, that could give me the skills to overcome obstacles. And when we have that connection, then we actually become a true well-wisher of others. We love to see other people succeed. We will do the best that we can, but there can be no depression in a humble heart. Because it's not a matter of winning and losing. It's a matter of serving. With a humble heart, we come out of the cave, the dark cave of our false ego, where everything is about I, me, and mine. In ancient myths, there's the dragon in the cave, and the dragon is usually protecting the gold and silver and jewels, or some beautiful ladies. And the dragon can't really enjoy it, but won't let anybody else come near it. That's really the state of everybody, to one extent or another, who is disconnected from the soul and from God. This ego is about I, me, and mine. A humble heart means to come out of that dark ego, to slay that dragon of greed, and to actually know that in living in a spirit of appreciating the grace, the power of God, and being an instrument of that power in our life, we can overcome depression. We can overcome arrogance. We can overcome the ego with all of its cohorts.
Rule number 4, change your perspective.
Sometimes the solutions to our problems, if they are not seen in the larger perspective of who we really are, who other people really are, and what is the actual nature of the environment we're living in, and what is our relationships with each other and God, if we don't see that perspective, our solutions can easily create much bigger problems than the original problems. That's so much what's going on in the world today. In the name of politics, in the name of science and technology, in the name of education, in the name of social development, what to speak of in the name of interpersonal relationships.
Also, if you want to have more motivation and self-love, check out my 254 series. They're free. The link to join are in the description below.
No one on planet Earth can stop you from accomplishing and achieving what you want.
The quality of your life is essentially determined by how you carry this one. Yes or no?
You don't see a very perfect person, but your intention is to see everyone is perfect. When you are looking for perfection in everybody around, I tell you, you forget to see the imperfection inside of you.
Rule number 5, meditate.
Meditation can give us better sleep, reduce our stress, make us more peaceful, help us to deal with the conflicts of life with a more focused mind. But that's not the true gift of meditation. Meditation is meant to awaken the true potential within all of us, to understand who we are. What is my relationship with all living beings, and what is my relationship with nature? The mind is compared to a mirror. When you look in a mirror, you expect to see yourself. But when that mirror is covered with years and years of dust, pollution, you don't see yourself. All you see is all that pollution, all that dust, and you think that's me. Meditation is meant to clean the mirror of the mind so that you can actually see yourself as you are. And as to the degree you see yourself as who you are, you can see the whole world for what it is. And you can see all living beings for who they truly are. When we clean our hearts from the dust of arrogance and greed and selfish passions and envy and illusions, then the soul shines into our mind and through us into the world. If you have $1 million, it solves all the $1, $2, $5, $10, $100 problems. They are all included. So similarly, when enlightenment of the true nature of the soul, the love of the soul is awakened through meditation, then the problems with stress and the problems with lack of clear thinking and the problems of sleep and all of these things are automatically solved. The goal of meditation is to awaken the highest potential in every human life, which is the awakening of divine love.
Rule number 6, search deeper.
It's through confusion, it's through challenges that often inspire us to search deeper. Obstacles are actually great aids to enlightenment and to a deeper meaning in life. When we're content and satisfied with superficial things, then we never really look deeper. So the frustrations and difficulties we endure in the path of life actually can be seen as blessings, because they help to make us more aware that there's something deeper, there's something more profound that's really my purpose and also my potential.
Rule number 7, harmonize your body with your mind.
A truly happy person does not find his or her happiness in the ever-changing circumstances that surround them. This is a problem with the way people perceive life. We're seeking happiness in all sorts of temporary, fleeting experiences that are so often beyond our control. Real happiness is not determined by the external situation. It's a state of mind. It's a consciousness. It is what is within ourselves. Yoga means harmony. It's to harmonize the body with the mind, with the very living force of who we are. And through this process, to harmonize our consciousness with all of nature and with the conscious force that is within all living beings. It is in that harmony that we find true happiness, because that harmony is eternal. It's unchanging. The concept of unity and diversity. There is limitless diversity, and that diversity is wonderful because it provokes and it invokes opportunities to go deeper and deeper within ourselves. It provides opportunities for relationships, but for those relationships to truly bring about happiness of the heart, it's important to experience the unity within all of this diversity. When we understand that harmony and the negative apparent things that we see, we begin to realize that that is on the level of the ego, on the level of the illusions of disconnect from the joy of the soul.
Rule number 8, find inner peace.
It is important that we understand that true peace is within ourselves. We have all seen people, even in the most peaceful, natural environment, who are agitated, who are disturbed, who are suffering. And we've also seen people in the apparently most distressing circumstances of life who are at complete peace. Because the experience of true peace is an inner state of consciousness. And that's what every great religion, that's what every great spiritual path is teaching us. We must learn to find peace within ourselves. But so much of our life is seeing the external world and interacting with it. So in order to find true peace within ourselves, we must harmonize the way we live with our true nature. The more we love, the more we're instruments of compassion, the more we find joy in giving to others, the more we see the external world around us in relationship to God, to the Supreme Being. And we live with integrity, we live with character. And we give priority time to actually cultivating that peace through our spiritual practices. The more we will actually find true peace. The more we give peace to others, the more we will find peace ourselves. The reality is, throughout history, there has been wars, there has been crime, there has been drought and hurricanes and volcanoes and so many different difficulties in life. Throughout all of these various transformations of the life around us, people have always sought that peace within themselves. Real peace is not the external circumstances. It's a state of consciousness. And actually, if we do not find that state of consciousness of peace within ourselves, we really cannot, in a sustainable way, be instruments of peace within this world. It's the greatest need of human society, to learn the value of compassion, to learn the value of love, to learn how to find that peace, to experience that peace within ourselves and extend it to the world around us.
Rule number 9, find opportunity in everything.
Just as my beloved Guru Srila Prabhupada would use an analogy that when you see through green-colored glasses, everything looks green. And if you see the same sight through yellow-colored glasses, it looks yellow. And if it's blue-colored glasses, it looks blue. And if it's clear glasses, you see it for its actual color. So similarly, we are seeing through the mind, not just through the eyes. Because even people with the same type of eyes and the same vision, what we see in the world is so different. In my 65 years, I don't think I've ever met anyone who sees anything the same way. Because everyone has a very unique state of mind. And we can give some general psychological categories to the way people think. But still, everyone is so personal and unique. According to the experiences that we've had, the education we've had, according to what we identify with and who we identify with, it all very much colors the way we see everything in the world. An example, a flower. One person will see a beautiful rose flower. If they're a botanist, they will start thinking about the Latin name and where its original seed was grown and become really fascinated by that idea. If a person's in love with someone, they'll see that rose, let me get it and give it to my lover, and how beautiful she will be if it's in her hair. Another person will see the rose, if they're an artist, the texture, the shapes, the colors, and how beautiful a work of art it is. If a person has allergies, they'll see the rose and just see like an enemy. I have to get away from this rose or I'm going to start sneezing. If a person loves God, they will think, oh, this is God's creation, God's art within the world. So everyone is going to see the same thing in a different way. And similarly, people see situations either as opportunities or as impediments. That's our choice. And generally, a person who's really successful, especially from a spiritual perspective, but in other ways also, is we see opportunities everywhere. Even in apparent setbacks.
And rule number 10, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is properly manage your stress.
Stress, it seems to follow us at every turn in life. Through timeless wisdom, we could learn to transform stress into a positive energy that inspires personal fulfillment and heightened productivity. The same stress that pummels us into anxiety has the potential to increase the value of life, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Stress can break us or strengthen us. An athlete grows in speed and strength through enduring stress. For example, when lifting weights, the greater the resistance, the stronger the weightlifter becomes. However, if not balanced properly, the stress of the weight could injure your back or damage your muscles. Properly managed, even the stress of taking exams in school can be an impetus to serious study. The queen of gems, the precious diamond, is nothing but common coal that with the help of nature's wisdom has been transformed under extreme pressure. And gold, the king of metals, is purified by blazing fire.
Now I have a special bonus clip around learning to love others that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the 3-point landing questions. Let's go from just watching a video to taking action. Here we go. Number 1, how can you better focus on what you can do? Number 2, what's the perspective change that you need to make? And number 3, what does balance look like for you? And if you made it this far in a video, I want to celebrate you. Give me a hashtag believe down in the comments as well.
Pleasure is something of the heart. Things can give some degree of satisfaction to the mind and senses, but nothing, no thing can give any gratification to the heart. Only to love and be loved can give satisfaction to the heart. Unfortunately, we are so distracted to things, that we compromise the integrity and values that make our life meaningful. In my 65 years of living in this world, I have never, ever seen anyone who was loved because of their money, because of their position, because of their title in a corporation or in politics, because of their skills. Nobody loves you for that. People may respect, people may enjoy according to what they get out of it. And most of the time, people are envious. But when we're compassionate, when we have values, when we have learned how to love others, people love us. What's really valuable in life? To love and be loved, or just to accumulate? The evolution of humanity is going from the obsessive need to get things to the joy of giving with love, with compassion, with values.
If you want 10 more rules from Tony Robbins, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.